Las Vegas, September 14th, 2013. The night when the air itself trembled, charged with something more than excitement. It was tension, fear, and awe woven together. The MGM Grand was alive, roaring with 1,000 different voices, but one heartbeat. 2 men, 2 nations, and one unshakable destiny. From the shadows of the tunnel emerged Floyd "Money" Mayweather, expression cold, steps precise, like a man walking toward history he already knew was his. Across the arena, Saúl Canelo Alvarez tightened his gloves, his young eyes burning with a fire that could melt steel. He was Mexico's hope, the golden boy meant to dethrone the undefeated king. As the crowd erupted, lights dimmed, and the world held its breath, the bell rang, and time froze. Canelo charged forward like a lion unchained, throwing heavy combinations, hunting the legend in front of him. But Mayweather, he wasn't there. Every punch sliced through empty air. Every swing missed by inches, as if Floyd could see the future. He moved with ghost-like grace, slipping, countering, vanishing. The crowd gasped, stunned by his calmness, by how control itself seemed to wear boxing gloves that night. It wasn't speed, it wasn't luck, it was mastery. By the end of round 1, sweat glistened on Canelo's face, confusion in his eyes. Mayweather stood unbothered, reading his every move like an open book. The bell echoed again, the sound heavy with unspoken truth. This wasn't going to be a war of strength, it would be a war of minds. The crowd could feel it. Canelo didn't just step into a fight, he stepped into a trap, and the trap had only just begun to close. Round after round, Mayweather began to weave his web. Canelo came forward, throwing hooks with conviction, but each time he did, Mayweather disappeared behind his shoulder roll, that signature defense that made punches vanish like smoke. The young Mexican warrior grew frustrated, his power shots hitting air, his confidence slowly crumbling with every missed attempt. Mayweather's counters were surgical, short, precise, punishing, not meant to hurt, but to humiliate. The more Canelo tried to force the fight, the more Mayweather turned it into art. You could see it in Floyd's eyes. He was enjoying this. Every feint, every slip, every jab was a statement. He wasn't fighting for survival. He was teaching a lesson. The crowd began to sense it too, the realization that they weren't watching a brawl. They were witnessing an exhibition of control, of a man playing chess while the other threw stones. Between rounds, Canelo's corner shouted instructions in Spanish, urging him to close the distance, to use his power. But Mayweather's timing was supernatural. He'd let Canelo come close, just close enough to think he had him, then snap. A right hand straight down the middle, sharp as lightning. The crowd roared each time, the echo of precision louder than any knockout. The young lion began to slow, not from fatigue, but from doubt. Mayweather wasn't just fighting him. He was inside his head, rewriting his rhythm, dismantling his confidence piece by piece. As round 6 ended, Mayweather smiled for the first time. It wasn't arrogance. It was a signal, the kind that tells you the hunt is over and the prey doesn't even know it yet. The trap had fully tightened. By the middle rounds, Canelo's aggression had turned into desperation. Every punch looked heavier, wider, but slower, like swinging in quicksand. Mayweather moved effortlessly, reading his opponent like an open book, dictating every second of the fight. The commentators couldn't believe what they were seeing. A 36-year-old man, outclassing a 23-year-old powerhouse, not with brute strength, but with pure intelligence. Mayweather wasn't just dodging punches. He was making Canelo question himself. Every time Canelo threw a combination, Floyd slipped, countered, and stared. That cold, emotionless stare that told the young fighter, "You can't touch me." The crowd was split between awe and disbelief. They had come expecting war, but what they got was a masterclass, a psychological dismantling so clean it bordered on cruel. By round 8, Canelo's breathing grew heavier. His punches lost sting. His movement, once confident, now hesitant. Mayweather, meanwhile, seemed untouched, his rhythm smooth, his jab precise, his footwork poetry. Canelo's corner screamed for urgency, but the young champion's mind was already trapped. Mayweather's control extended beyond the ring. He controlled the crowd, the clock, the very heartbeat of the night. The bell rang again, and as both men returned to their corners, the camera caught a rare moment. Canelo, looking down, avoiding eye contact. The predator was now prey, and Mayweather knew it. There was no knockout needed, no dramatic finish required. The real damage was invisible, pride shattered, spirit tested, and legacy rewritten in silence. As the final rounds began, the atmosphere shifted. The crowd, once roaring with expectation, now sat in stunned silence. They were witnessing something historic. Not a war, but a surgical dismantling of youth by experience. Mayweather floated across the canvas, every movement deliberate, every punch a message. He didn't chase Canelo, he dictated him. He painted the ring with strategy, precision, and control. The young Mexican kept fighting, his heart refusing to quit. But the frustration in his eyes said it all. Every attempt to land something meaningful ended in emptiness. Mayweather's defense wasn't just skill, it was a statement that mastery can silence even the loudest power. The bell for the final round rang, and both men stood toe-to-toe, pride against perfection. Canelo swung, desperate, and missed. Mayweather countered, clean, effortless, poetic. The crowd rose one last time as the clock ticked down. When the final bell echoed, Mayweather raised his glove, expression calm, almost cold. A man who had just proven again why he was untouchable. Canelo, drenched in sweat, nodded in silent respect. There was no shame in defeat, only the realization that he had stepped into the ring with a genius. The judges' scorecards confirmed what everyone already knew. Unanimous. Mayweather, still undefeated. As the cameras flashed and the crowd erupted, one truth became eternal. That night, the ring didn't belong to speed or strength. It belonged to intelligence, patience, and perfection. Mayweather